May we now invite President Hollande and President Aquino to come up the stage. His Excellency François Hollande, President of the French Republic, will now deliver his remarks.
L'appel a été lancé et je remercie la sénatrice et
Marion Cotillard. Please allow me to thank the senator as well as the French actress Marion Cotillard for reading it. We are here together, political leaders, representatives of major NGOs, academics, cultural figures, to convince the world to mobilize the public opinion. And please allow me to thank Nicolas Hulot for taking this initiative, because if we want to succeed in December, the diplomats must be at their best. Of course they are. We will also need the UN bodies to support that process, and they're ready to do so. We will also need to have the necessary discussions with the world leaders so that commitments are made. But we will also, and before all, need the public opinion to mobilize. And this is the purpose of this appeal. An appeal being launched here in Manila. In the eyes of the world, Manila is a symbol of suffering and hope. The suffering is that which unfortunately was the suffering of the victims of typhoons, tsunamis, disasters, earthquakes. Hundreds and thousands of Filipinos who were displaced. The suffering is also that threatening us in case of the rise of the sea level, given the intensity and the number of storms as well. Nonetheless, there is hope here in Manila, the hope of a people which is resisting, fighting, and which is rising, given the challenge, and getting organized. And this is why we wanted to do it in Manila. We wanted the appeal to be launched here. What is its purpose, its meaning? It is so that in Paris, on the occasion of that climate conference, we can reach a comprehensive and binding agreement, country by country, in order to make sure that the world will not face global warming that would lead to even worse disasters than the ones we've been facing. And we needed a voice like yours, President Aquino, the voice I heard on the occasion of international summits in the UN, when you said that we could all do something, play our role, do our part. We needed other voices as well, multiple voices, those we're hearing here. We needed the voice of France, because France, and for us it is both a duty and an honor, France knows when it is necessary to do so, face up to its responsibilities, as we've shown in other circumstances, facing other challenges. So what is now the purpose of this appeal? It is an appeal for justice. The Manila appeal is for the world to be more fair between developed countries and fragile ones, between wealthy countries and poor ones, between generations as well. those who had all their time to extract resources from the planet, and who now have a duty, the duty to act so that their children, their grandchildren as well, can live, simply live on this planet. Justice is also to allow, make sure that the progress of science, the economy, the technology, everything is at the service of the protection, prevention, everything rather than destruction of our own planet. This is the reason why an alliance must be found between all the forces, that of the states, as well as economic forces, that of NGOs, cultural forces, so that we can make this appeal live. This appeal is also a matter of imagination, and through the Green Fund and the innovating financing, everything that we can do to mobilize resources and allocate them, put them at the service of development. The Manila appeal is an appeal for invention, because climate change means that we have a duty, but it is also an opportunity, because it will allow us to invent a new form of growth, a green growth. We will be better. Better because we have no alternative. Better for renewable energies, better at storing energy, better to organize our cities, our transport, better at imagining carbon-free technology, organizing our taxes, better as well at organizing competition between the companies, our businesses, with a carbon price. And this is the purpose of the agenda of solutions that will translate our inventions. Lastly, the appeal of Manila is for a new world, because what is at stake is a new form of development, more fair, more respectful, a world where we can say to ourselves that what we're doing is useful, a world where each and every country will face up its responsibilities depending on its capacities, a world with a new form of solidarity between wealthy and emerging countries. Many at some point in their political approach have considered a new world, but they did not necessarily build a better world. And what we have in mind is a world where we can live, that is human, and this is on this that we can agree. As Lévi-Strauss was saying, the rainbow of human cultures will end up sinking in the vacuum generated by our fury. So we have to put an end to this fury and put in the sky the rainbow of human cultures. This new world, we can shape it over the next 300 days before we meet in Paris, and I'm calling upon all the heads of state and government to do their utmost so that an agreement can be found. I'm launching an appeal for the citizens, for the youth, as well as the economic stakeholders, as well as academics, artists, everyone, to commit themselves, to get organized, so that we can rise to the challenge, to defend this cause on which we can all agree. There's those who watch history happening, and those who are making it. And today we have to write history. This is what we will be doing in Paris in 300 days.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, President of the Republic of the Philippines, will now deliver his remarks.
Our Manila call to action on climate change represents solidarity in action. We are hopeful that this joint call will help us gain momentum for a truly global initiative to address climate change. I extend my gratitude to President Hollande and the Republic of France, along with all nations of goodwill who have pledged action to address this global threat. Over the past few years, the Philippines has found itself at the forefront of this issue. The impact of climate change on our people has been massive. For instance, the Christmas season is normally one of the most joyous portions of the year for us. And given the fact that we have over 10 million Filipinos overseas, there are plenty of family reunions during this time. Unfortunately, recent years have transformed some of us in government, making us a little less joyous and a little more tense and apprehensive. It has become a time in which we have to prepare for out-of-season typhoons that have hit us in increasing frequency. Allow me to explain. The rainy season in the Philippines typically lasts from June to November. However, Tropical Storm Owashi in 2011, Typhoon Bofa in 2012, Typhoon Hagupit in 2014 all made landfall in December. There was also Typhoon Mekala, which occurred in January of this year. Of course, this does not even include the storms of increasing magnitude that have hit us during the regular rainy season, such as typhoons Nari and Haiyan in 2013. Our administration has thus been confronted by a vicious and unsustainable cycle of destruction and reconstruction. In fact, Typhoon Hagupit managed to destroy the bunkhouses in Tacloban built in the wake of Typhoon Haiyan. Our primary objective is to stop this cycle of destruction and reconstruction, which is why we are building back better. However, there is a truism that we must consider. When you fight Mother Nature, you cannot win. Hence, to address this issue, we must not just deal with the after effects of climate change, but with its primordial causes. In this light, we as a developing country welcome that countries like France have emerged as champions of a global partnership to address this issue. This statement thus is a welcome call to action. No longer can we be paralyzed by debates over the obligations of individual countries. All of us must do everything we can in the quickest and most impactful way possible. The choice before us is clear. We can either overcome this problem together or together reap the consequences of apathy. For this reason, it is incumbent upon us to conclude a universal climate change agreement in Paris later this year. One that is ambitious, that is guided by science, and that allows developing countries to pursue their economic goals in the context of sustainable development. Rest assured that the Philippines will continue to exert its utmost to address this issue and follow through on the commitments outlined in this call to action. We stand in hope that many nations in the global community will do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes the launching of the Manila Call to Action on Climate Change. May we